Hey everyone, Scott here. You may have seen a few days ago that we uploaded our Halloween special where we looked at the H96P mini Android projector. It was certainly a first for us here at the MXQ project, as we've not looked at projectors before in the past, but we had a really good time doing it, and much to our surprise today we had yet another Android projector arrive on our doorsteps for us to take a look at, play with and review for you guys. Today we're going to be looking at the Vivibright Gp100 Android projector. Okay, so here we have the GP100 in its box here. It's a really big box and it's going to be a really beefy device, I think, compared to the tiny H96P. Comes really professionally packaged. It all looks quite nice if you ignore the bad translations and weird graphics on there. But it looks alright, it looks professional enough to me. So let's get this thing open. Lots of lovely bits of useless cardboard there and some polystyrene to keep it all nice and safe. And it also comes packaged in this plastic bag as well, just for extra peace of mind, I think, and just to keep it free from wear and tear while it's being transported. And here we have the main article. This is the Vivibright Gp100 projector. It comes with this lens cap on the front as well, so you can keep your lens nice and dust free when you're not using it. It's very bulky, very big, but hopefully it's going to be very big in terms of performance as well when we get to that. It also has this little foot on the bottom as well, so if you haven't got anything to mount it to as of yet, you can use that and position it as you like and get a bit more freedom. And there's that lens cap again. You could also buy a separate mount for this and mount it to your ceiling if you wanted to. It's got a focus wheel and the keystone adjustment on the side here, so you can focus your image and adjust the keystone rotation to make sure that you're getting a nice straight picture when you're projecting onto your wall or projection screen. And it has some nice looking buttons on the top here where we can just control Android or any of the other functions or inputs as well if we didn't want to use the remote for whatever reason. And then the back we've got all our connectivity. So we have things like our audio and our AV cables and our VGA port, HDMI inputs, 2 of those, Ethernet adapter port, 2 USB ports, and then there's the standard power cable here. It's a standard kind of kettle cable that you'd see on most PC towers. And as usual, we have the trademark, useless, Chinese, badly translated user manual, and you can see that there. And here we have the rest of the gubbins, loads of cables and things like that. It comes with a VGA cable, which is great. And then we kind of get a bag full of goodies here as well, in the forms of cables and remotes and things. So let's just open that up now and take a closer look at what we get inside. So here we have the power cable. It's a kettle style cable like I said earlier. Again, they've sent me an EU one, but I have plenty of these knocking around and you can find them in most stores. And here we have an RGB cable as well with an audio adapter, so you can connect stuff up using RGB cables. We also get a nice little lens cleaning cloth there as well, so you can keep everything nice and tidy. And last but not least, the IR remote control. Again, not going to hold out too much hope for this being any good, but we'll certainly give it a try a bit later on and see how we get on with it. So let's move on now and take a look at this projector in action. So before we turn this projector on, let's take a quick look at the specs of it as well. So we have an LED bulb in here that has a brightness of 3200 lumens. That's a great deal of difference between the H96P that we reviewed the other day, which only had a brightness of 100 lumens. So a massive difference for 2 projectors in a very similar sort of price range. The resolution on this projector as well also is 1280 by 800 pixels, so that's WXGA resolution, so that's even slightly greater than 720p, so you're going to get some nice, crisp, clear, HD-ready video on there as well. Screen size is also great. If you have it at a distance of around 7.5 meters, you could reach a clear 180-inch screen size for your videos and whatever you're doing on there. It also has loads of connectivity going for it as well. It's got 2 HDMI inputs, so you could have maybe a satellite receiver, a Freeview box, a Skybox, and a games console hooked in there at the same time. It's even got a VGA slot, so you can connect it up to a laptop or a computer, so that would be good as well. You can also connect a USB stick and plug and play direct from the USB stick. You can use RGB cables with this thing. It comes with all those that you saw in the unboxing, so it has a heck of of a lot going for it, and we're really looking forward to testing this out. Now, there are actually two versions of this projector as well. There are a standard version, you get everything I just said, and that's that. But we also have the Android version here, which is what we're going to be reviewing today, which means that you're going to get an onboard Android operating system, as well as all those other bells and whistles. It comes with an Amlogic S905X processor, 1GB of RAM, and 8GB of onboard storage, so you've basically got a TV box inside your projector as well. So here we've set the projector up in a very darkened room, and as you can see, we've got a nice crisp image on the screen here, and we've got a wee chip box hooked up to this. It's just an S912 box. We'll be doing a review of that in a few days' time, actually, so stay tuned for that. And we're just going to play a few games and a few YouTube videos and stuff now, just to kind of get an idea of the crispness and the clearness of the image from this projector. So if we go ahead and jump to YouTube now, look at a couple of test videos. This should be displaying in 720p, and yeah, it looks absolutely great. The image is very sharp, it's very crisp, the colours really pop, and it just looks really nice, and it's such a step up from the H96P that we reviewed just a few short days ago. Now, if we jump over to some of the games now, this is Asphalt 8, again running on that Wii chip device, and it runs great. We're not here to judge performance of the game itself, though. We're here to judge the picture quality that the projector is providing us, and it looks absolutely stunning for such a cheap device and for such a lower end resolution like 720p. It just looks really good, and I could actually imagine sitting here and playing on games or using this projector for hours, or sitting watching movies or TV or anything like that. I would have absolutely no problem having this mounted in my living room. If we take a few close-ups now of Asphalt, you can see that there's no pixelation at all, and we're just projecting onto a wall here. There's no fancy screens or anything, it's just straight onto the back wall, and it looks absolutely great. And if we jump over now to Modern Combat, same again, performance-wise, game runs great, and it looks visually stunning as well. We actually ran a THX tune-up app as well to make sure that our settings for the brightness, contrast, and sharpness, etc. were all correct, and we were going to get the best possible image, and this is a result of that, and it looks absolutely great as well. Now we're playing Sonic the Hedgehog. We thought we'd play this game as we played it on the H96P review as well, and we thought we would see what a kind of old-style pixelated kind of game would look like on a larger screen. And again, it looks absolutely great, really colourful, really vibrant, and overall it's a really pleasant experience. Now, just to comment on the size as well, the screen size that we're using at the moment, we have this about maybe 2 to 3 meters away from the wall at the moment, and the screen size is probably somewhere between 70 to 80 inches. So that's probably twice the size of the TV that, say, my dad has in his living room at the moment. But this can actually go even better than that. This apparently can reach sizes of up to 180 inches, which is just massive, and I don't have a wall big enough to test that on at the moment, unless we try to get this outside at some point. Now, we did have this pulled far back enough that it covered the entire of this back wall. Unfortunately, there was all kinds of things in the way, and it wasn't going to look good on camera. But again, the image quality was still crisp, it was still clear, and it was really nice to kind of view, and it was just a really nice surprise to be getting this kind of quality from such a budget projector. Now, last but not least, in this darkened room, we've hooked up my laptop to the projector now, and we're currently projecting from the laptop. Now, we're going to play a couple of emulators. If I just boot up an N64 emulator and play some GoldenEye, again, you will see that picture quality is great, it's really crisp, and it's really clear, and I think you're probably getting the pattern here. We are not disappointed with this device by any means. Again, if we jump over to the Dreamcast emulator and play some Sonic Adventure, again, it looks really, really nice. It plays really well. Again, there's zero latency on the controller or anything like that. It's just a really, really pleasant experience, and a really, really pleasant viewing experience as well. So now that we've talked about using the projector in the correct sort of environment, that being a darkened room, let's transition now to show what it's like if you're to use it during the day in perhaps a very bright room. We also happen to have a very bright and sunny day here today, the first one we've had in a long time, and as you can see, the projector is struggling quite badly to give us any kind of decent picture quality or brightness from it. Now, we're not too surprised by this. We kind of expected it to happen. It was a similar thing with the H96P from the other day, so we're not going to mark it down too badly on using it in the daylight, because they're not really designed for that. Now, you may notice that we're running another version of Android on here. This is actually the onboard version of Android that comes bundled with this projector. Like we said earlier on, there are two different types you can buy. There's the basic version, where you just get the projector, all its HDMI inputs and all them bells and whistles, but you can pay a little bit extra and get Android bundled with that as well. So you're getting best of both worlds. You're getting a really cool projector and you're getting a Android TV box in there as well. But is that worth it? Unfortunately not, it isn't. It comes with an Amlogic S905X processor, but only 1GB of RAM and 8GB of very slow eMMC memory. Now, it has struggled to do even the basic things like travel the UI, get into the settings, open any apps. We tried to play a couple of games on it, such as Sonic the Hedgehog, and it wouldn't even run Sonic the Hedgehog properly. And it really just seems that this Android operating system was just a quick afterthought. It's almost like that they've just gone ahead and stuck an old MXQ Pro board in there on top of all the rest of it. And maybe it's just heating up a bit too much in there and it's struggling, or maybe it's slow NAND memory or bad RAM or something like that. But the Android version is not something we would recommend. You could pay quite a bit less money for the basic version and get yourself a really decent TV box to plug into the back of this and use that instead. Now, one of the last points we're going to make is about the fan that comes with the projector, because it does come with quite a noisy fan. Now, this is to be expected. It is quite a bulky device and it's going to require a lot of cooling down. So the fans are going to be going quite a lot, and it can seem kind of disconcerting straight away, and it can seem really noisy and you think, oh, how am I going to watch a film over this? Well, we've recorded the decibel level of the fan and it's reached a decibel level of around 40, I think it was. So you're going to get quite a bit of noise if you're just using this fan on its own without any sound coming out. But if you were to use something like an external speaker or a Bluetooth speaker or even a surround sound system, you're going to be able to easily drown out that fan. But of course, you don't need to use fancy speakers to do that either, because this does actually come bundled with an onboard speaker built into the device itself. Now, the H96P also had this, but unfortunately it was a very, very poor quality. Now, most of the vendors that are selling the GP100 that we're reviewing today claim that this projector has a hi-fi stereo style quality speaker built into it, and they're not wrong. It's actually a very good, very nice sounding speaker that's built into this device. So there you have it. You also have the sound of the fan there, but the onboard speaker is enough to drown that out, so it's not going to be any nuisance whatsoever when you're sitting watching a film or playing some games or anything through this projector. So just to kind of sum up, analyse and put a conclusion to the end of this review, we at the MXQ Project think that the Vivibright Gp100 projector is an absolutely stunning piece of kit. It is one heck of a budget projector, and you could do far, far worse. Now, there are two versions, like we've mentioned a couple of times in this video. One is an Android version. It comes with Android Marshmallow installed on there, and it acts as a TV box as well as having all those other inputs. And the other version is just a basic version without Android. We strongly suggest that you go for the non-Android version and save yourself a bit of money. The Android version just has way too many problems, and it is not worth the extra money that they're charging for it, in our opinion anyway. You could save yourself a bit of money by getting the basic version and just get yourself a decent TV box to plug into your new fancy projector. And if you're struggling which ones to pick, then by all means come and swing by our channel and watch our reviews. We have got plenty and dozens of reviews on loads of different types of TV boxes and the ones that we think are worth your time and your money. So if you like the video, guys, don't forget to give us a like. If you didn't like it, give us a dislike, that's fine as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at MXQ Project. Come and join our Facebook group. Join our community over there. Head over to the website for more articles, news, and reviews and tutorials and all that kind of stuff. And we shall see you in the next one.